Awesome. So, welcome back, guys. I'm pretty sure Nick fell asleep on us, but that's okay. Mordella is here with us in spirit. Um, so as the dust kind of settles from the fight, uh, those of you outside kind of hear this banging on metal, and you kind of look over and you see this little fairy outside. Well, hey, let me out of here.
Make sure to use something better than a dagger and a stick, because apparently those don't work.
Can I just hammer the log off?
Does it look like the strange key that I looted might do something?
You look at the keyhole and it's shaped different.
Okay, figured.
Oh, the goblins out here have keys on them?
It is just a simple padlock cook, or Vraak, if you'd like to try and hit it and knock it off. You can go ahead and make an attack.
I don't, guys. Like, this is a fairy still. No offense, Timber. You're not gonna attack
What does that
me or
mean?
my friends if I
They were
let
gonna
you
eat
free.
me. What does that mean? You got a
Look,
lot
the
of room
last
to
time I
talk,
saw Faye, it tried to
Tusky.
kill us.
The fairy puts its fingers out in front of its mouth and goes, "Look at me, it's just a fairy," I say with my tusk teeth.
All right, I'm gonna get. Can I ready a guiding bolt?
Yes, you can.
I don't want to fire it off, but
The
I want to
fairy
let it
looks at
know
you,
that I
Timber.
can.
The fairy looks at you, Timber, and gets like these sad puppy dog eyes. You're not really gonna leave me in here, are you?
See, this is what I'm talking. It's doing Faye shit.
They were gonna
I
eat
cast
me.
Timber cast sleep on it.
Roll up the hit points.
That's nice. 13, 17 plus 6, 23 hit points of sleep.
The fairy falls over asleep.
All right. I turn to Vraak and it's like, I sincerely apologize as I pull a spear out of my shoulder. I apologize for that. This I not like fairies, and hence I no longer hang out with them. So I apologize if my kin over here insulted you. It will not happen again. But now we have some peace and quiet to try to get this cage open, figure out what the hell's going on.
How many hit points do you have?
How many hit points do I have?
Yeah.
I have 7 left. I'm not sure if you're asking for that or the total.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna, because what I said was kind of rude considering you're standing right there. So I'm going to apologize for my words with because she's digging a hole for herself. She's trying to make friends. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on you at a 2nd level.
Ooh.
So that's going to be 2d8 plus 4. So 4 plus 9, 11 hit points.
Yeah, awesome.
Thrandil, I'm gonna assume that you come down out of your tree and join the party.
I was kind of hanging back just to make sure there was no more like goblins or ambushes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception roll.
Cool.
Do it with advantage since you have height.
Oh, sweet. A 15.
Yeah, you don't seem to see anything, but you kind of hear in the distance. At this point, it's kind of way distant, but you hear the footfalls of creatures running away. You think that maybe you didn't quite get them all, and some have escaped.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll come down to the tree lines and let the party know. Heck yeah.
I think Winter at some point while Vraak and Timber were talking to the fairy is going to lean over to Ildain, just be like, "What is the obsession with your friend's tusks? Like, why do people care so much? Like, why? It's weird."
These people are assholes. And they're making fun of her.
Oh, one moment, and then Winter kind of like she gets this very contemplative look over her face, like she's like going through every interaction she's had with Vraak around and trying to categorize people into like new categories of good and threat. Like she is recategorizing her entire system because she legit thought, because this is like new for her, she's used to just being around Dragonborns. She's gone into the situation being like, huh, that's weird. And now there's this reason behind it. And she's like, oh, I'm going to go punch some people.
Yeah, so you guys right now are gathered outside of this cage with this sleeping fairy who was captive to the goblins. Are we going to do something about that, or are we going to leave her there and go investigate the
Yeah, how
temple?
long does this spell last?
Only 1 minute.
I'd like to use some rope and tie.
You got to get it out of there first.
That is true.
The
Um,
goblins have keys on them.
Make an investigation roll.
Oh, I won't be. That was a nat 1, so that's like a. Oh, yep, that's a 1.
Anybody else want to try?
I don't see any.
Yeah.
um,
14.
14. You go to the one that Ildain split in two, and you're kind of poking around through the muck, but yeah, he had a key ring in his pocket. It had a couple keys on it.
I go up to the cage and I try them out to see if they open the cage.
Yeah, they look like they're identical keys. They're kind of like that idiot who
Okay.
has both of their car keys on the same ring and then
Yeah.
locks their keys in their car,
Alright.
you know? But yeah, you're able to unlock the lock and open the door, and the fairy's in there asleep.
All right, so I open the door. I open the door and then just kind of stand to the side and kind of gesture for Vraak. Yeah, here you go.
now I feel conflicted about doing this, but I'm gonna do it. But like, I'm not feeling great about it. I
It's
am going
asleep.
to tie the
It's
fairy
not
up.
hard. You tie her up. Thrandil, you're kind of wary too. You know about fairies. They're usually assholes. But
Yeah.
you know, you did also hear Vraak threaten to leave it in the cage, so maybe that explained its outburst.
Thrandil's not really too worried about the fairy. It kind of got itself in a situation, and it seems like everybody else has a lot of interest in it. He's more or less just concerned about, he's kept his end of the deal. He's escorted everybody here, and now he just wants to discover why they were here and get the information and complete the mission.
Yeah, and it's
So he's just kind of standing back, just kind of watching everybody, and just waiting to go inside with the rest of the group whenever they're ready to do that.
Yeah, and
We got it
all
incapacitated
of you
inside.
now that the battle's over, every single one of you is taken aback by the fact that there are orcs this far south of the Fire Pass. Orcs have not passed the mountains, as far as you guys know, in 1,000 years. The fact that there are orcs not only past the mountain, but this far south of the mountain is of concern.
Is there other ways to get through
Not that
other
you,
than going through where I used to live?
there are other ways that orcs have tried to get through. It turns out orcs are actually horrible at sailing. Uh, you can't get many orcs to work that well together to row or sail a ship. So water has never been an option for the orcs. There is the Everneedle Pines, where Mordella is from, that they've tried to move south through, but the forests are so thick that they act as a natural barrier. It's hard to move an army through there. And most of the time when they try, it's through the Fire Pass. They try to move through the Underdark and move through the Dwarven enclaves, and it's usually the dwarves that are holding them back. And everyone is just flabbergasted that there are orcs here. It makes no sense.
And these are full orcs, not
These
half
are
orcs.
Yep, these are full orc war chiefs. They look important. They're wearing chainmail. They're wielding great axes. These are pretty important orcs.
Being as orcs are my favorite enemy, can I recall any information about them? Like, why would they travel here?
So
Like, what's
the orcs have been trying to overtake the continent for all of recorded history. They used to live amongst the mortals, but it is just in their nature that they are violent and warlike, and they believe all other humanoids below them and nothing more than food and slaves. And millennia ago, the humanoids banded together and banished them north of the mountains, the Fire Pass. And since then, the Fire Pass has acted as a natural barrier to separate the Orc Empire from the civilized society of Bremha. And 1,000 years have passed since the last time an Orc invasion successfully made it past the Fire Pass.
okay? This is a very trying information indeed. Seeing orcs outside the pass, I mean, this hasn't happened in forever. I'd say we better get back to town with this information as soon as we can. It very well could be the next invasion if they're getting through.
And then, as you guys are making these investigations outside here and whatnot, the fairy comes to, and she looks at Timber. Hey! What? And starts fighting with its bonds. What are you doing? They were going to eat me, and you were going to leave me in the cave. Let me go.
No, you were mean and a jerk, and I do not appreciate that.
Was it not
So
mean to
why don't you
threaten to
just-
leave me in the cage simply because I'm a fairy? So let me get this straight. For you, another fairy, discrimination against fairies, that's fine. Hate your own.
Yeah,
But
that
as
about
soon as
wraps it
I
up.
do it,
You-
soon as I do it, all of a sudden, it's a problem. You know what you are?
Yep, you
You know
nailed
what
it
you are?
first try. Good
You're a
job.
hypocrite. Yeah.
Yep, true.
I've been here for days.
But
I've heard a lot, but you know what? I don't know that I want to tell you anything.
Okay. Turn around, walk away. It's like, let's talk to the half-orc here. I'm sure they'll be very gentle. And just turn and walk away.
What do I have? All I've got are. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Look, I want to torture you, and I will. If it comes down to it. You're a dick. We've covered that. Tell us what you know, and we'll let you go. Otherwise, I'm burning your toes off one by one.
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
I get it's 3 on those. There we go. 18.
Not my toe. What? They listen. My goblin's a little rusty, but they were talking about something about awakening an old one and
Oh. Oh, what?
an old one. And apparently this place is special, and the orcs are training the goblins. I don't know how they got here. They're here. They're here. And as they say that, their face is dead serious, staring you straight in the eye.
I'm not even gonna roll. I'm gonna choose to believe it.
I'm gonna walk up and just be like, how are orcs training the goblins? Neither race likes to get along with others. They're pretty much the same reasons. So how are they? What is making them work together?
They didn't say anything about that. I don't know why they're working together. All I know is they are. They're here, and it's almost like their orders are coming from somewhere else. They just talked about the old one.
How did you get caught?
We can't let that happen.
They've got a lot of stuff in there, and some of it's pretty shiny. And I was tempted, but I got caught.
What were
Apparently
you
they're
trying to get?
attacking they're attacking caravans, and they've been bringing everything here. Everything they've taken is in the temple.
What were you trying to get?
Oh, they had all kinds of trinkets. There's jewelry and gems and money, funny little boxes. There's kegs, food. Every caravan they've hit, they brought the stuff here.
What were you interested in? Like, what caught your eye? What said,
Oh,
hey,
I like all kinds
gonna
of
risk
shiny
myself for this.
things.
like a crow?
You know,
Do we let him go, or do we go investigate while he's still tied up? Because I want to get in there
hey,
before he.
you told me that if I told you what I know, you'd let me go. A deal is a
I
deal.
didn't say when.
It win.
I'm surrounded by liars.
Sucks when things are tricky back to you, huh?
She doesn't even acknowledge you, Timber.
All right, I want to go do some. I want to go do some checking out of this temple.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey.
me too.
Yep, same.
Okay, so the first room you guys are going to step into in table specific maps is that main ritual room, which is map 3. pull up the map, but you can ignore the creatures that are in there on the map. When you guys step in here, the floors are stone. There seems to be a broken altar to your guys' left. There's pillars with old cobwebs and what looks like torture racks affixed to them. You have the brazier in the center of the room is now shattered and asunder, and there are still some dying embers laying around, and there's bits of that black crystal just laying about. As you guys step in again, Timber, your necklace is vibrating, and it almost feels like it's beginning to float up on your chest underneath your shirt as you're in here. And yeah, you guys can investigate this room. You guys see that there is a door to the north, and there is a door on the west wall.
All right, well, I'm going to make an investigation on the crystal and see if there's any residual magic or if there's any further danger. Maybe Arcana.
Yeah, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
All right. Hey, I still have that Bardic Inspiration, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and use that. What is that, D4 or D6?
D6.
D6.
Nice, okay. That's a 4.
You have no idea. These are just
I don't
black,
even
shiny
know
pieces of
where
rock.
I
You
am.
pick it up and turn it over in your hand, and it just looks like black rock to you.
I want to approach the crystal as well.
This thing is laying in pieces, by the way, guys. There's now, it went from being this big crystal the size of a hand to now thousands of pieces of crystal.
I want to approach like the epicenter of it. Like I want to be right smack in the middle of where they were conducting the ritual.
Okay. You can make an investigation or an Arcana check, depending on what you're looking for.
I want to see if there's any, because obviously, if I'm assuming the energy was not good if they're trying to summon an old god or an old one.
Can I get you to make a Constitution saving throw, by the way, Vraak? I forgot as soon as you stepped in here.
Yeah. Let me do Constitution. It's 3. Oof, 9.
Yeah, everything about this place, for some reason, is turning your stomach. You feel sick standing in this room.
I don't like that. What I want to do, I'm going to leave the room. I want to
Back out the
approach
front or deeper
Timber
in?
back towards the room that we were in where everybody else is situated, if nobody else is moved on.
You guys are right in the main room. So you have the door to the out. This is map 3. So you have the door to the outside to your south. There's a door to the east and a door to the north.
Okay. I want to talk to Timber and Winter about this place, specifically them as the magic users. Guys, the magic in this place is making me violently ill. I can cast a blessing on this place, but I want you guys to check it out before I mess anything up.
Yeah, can I do an Arcana check real quick?
One for, yeah, Winter would like to do one as well.
Yeah, go ahead and do Arcana or Investigation. Whichever you guys like.
I rolled a nat 1 again.
You have advantage.
Oh, good.
Your Order of Scribes.
I rolled a 24 on investigation.
Okay. As you're looking
I got
around,
a 17 on
okay,
Arcana.
yeah. So as you guys move around this room, the crystal shards are seem inert. All the spiritual energy was released from it in the explosion. The brazier is cracked. There's no magical auras coming from that anymore, or anything like that. You, Winter, you're able to find just laying around from the disintegrated and mangled corpses. Probably about 18 silver and 25 copper. Their armor is now useless and weapons, however, from the explosion. And Timber, you feel your necklace as it's floating underneath. It's almost like pulling you towards that altar on the left side of the room. You can choose to ignore it or...
I will. I'll tell Vraak. I was like, yeah, the magic in here does not make me comfortable either. I do. It's the same feel for the magic that I actually get from Mordella, but in a like less pure way. There is spirit magic involved here that I do not understand. And I'm going to go check out this altar real quick.
Right. And as you step up to this altar, your necklace jets out forward, and the stone of the altar there becomes emblazoned with these red runes. And I need a religion check from anybody who wants to investigate these red runes across this broken altar.
Would be a 12 for me.
17.
17.
Got a 20.
Not one for winter.
18.
Anybody who got above a 15, this word is... it sends shiver down your spines as you read Zithraxis in these glowing runes across this altar. And you realize that you are in the temple of the Shadow Lord, the Dark God himself.
Oh.
That's it. Everybody out. Everybody out. Timber, you
Timber, you
stay.
are unable to
Everybody
move.
out.
And you begin to hover and not by your wings.
So,
And you guys watch as Timber's arms go out and his head lays back and his eyes roll back in his head. And Timber, in your head, you hear a deep, rumbling voice. Who is this child that comes before me, bearing my mark in this long forgotten place?
the name's Timber. I don't know what mark you're talking about.
A fairy. Curious. What do you know? And suddenly you start seeing just flash before you all of your memories. It's like you're reliving your life. And this entity, this voice in your head that's echoing, begins extracting all these memories. And then in front of you, you see the mirror as you may have envisioned it. Or maybe not. Maybe it's implanted it. It just picked up on the mirror. And you see it's this silver mirror with this moon shape around the looking glass with these intricate, and then lighting up on it, you see runes that make up the name Lyra. He growls low as this image of this mirror just floats in front of you. And then you fall to the ground. The runes extinguish. And you guys heard or nothing? You just saw him float up, head back, and he falls to the ground.
Okay. Is he unconscious?
No, he's conscious. A little dazed.
Okay.
He just saw his entire life flash before his eyes as this entity extracted everything he's ever done, said, or seen in his entire life.
Can
What
I
was that
cast
about?
Identify on the altar?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you
I
said
want to.
identifies a ritual spell, correct? So it takes 10 minutes to cast?
It takes 1 minute.
1 minute to cast. Okay, so yeah, you set up your ritual and you cast, and instantly you just the knowledge of Ysmir fills your head that this is a sacrificial altar to Zithraxis. And
Okay.
you kind of look around and you see the torture racks affixed to the pillars, and the spirits you saw escaping from the gym, the fairy saying that they were trying to awaken an old one. Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
think I'm going to
somebody
just
go
after.
outside.
I was gonna say, while you did the whole everybody out, and then Timber went up. I think I'm gonna run back in, grab Timber, and kind of drag him out. While they were doing this whole identify thing, and then just kind of wait.
Okay. Who all stayed back in?
Timber stands up and he kind of brushes himself off. He's like, "Hey, I'm fine, guys. It was weird, but I'm okay. I I need to look through the rest of this building."
You just floated up into the air and weren't unresponsive. That's just weird to you?
It is something I need to figure out.
I think I'm gonna look at the other fairy and be like, if you just saw him go up in the air, with his eyes rolled back in his head, he was unresponsive, what would you think?
I don't know what I would think. I couldn't see it because I'm tied up to a cage.
Yeah, but I'm describing the thing. How would you have reacted just to that? Simple.
Fairies fly. I've seen weirder.
Yeah, but he didn't use his wings.
I saw him earlier. Isn't he a wizard? I've seen tons of wizards with no wings fly.
You're so not helpful.
Thank you so much.
Are we
All
keeping
right.
the
I
fairy?
need an
What are we
hour.
doing?
Let it go. Tell him to get the
Okay.
fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I let him go.
Who's all gonna investigate the rest of the building? Who wants the GTFO? I know Mordella's
I
not
need an
here, but
hour to check this building out for the
there's
blessing.
still.
I'll go with
Okay, which door you guys want to go through first? The northern door or the eastern door?
To the east.
Okay, if you move to the east, that would be map 4. And in here, you see these pillars with chains wrapped around them. And this looks like it's got a raised platform on the far east wall between the two windows. This looks like a place where maybe sermons or something were given. There's not a whole lot here. There's a lantern on the floor. The candelabra hanging from the ceiling is lit. But it looks like this was just a sermon room. There's not a whole lot in this room, but there is a door that leads north from here.
Do I recall orcs or goblins being religious in nature?
Orcs do have various religions. Goblins aren't religious per se. They have a god that they've made up for themselves, but it doesn't actually exist.
I got you. Does this look like anything? I guess orcs, if they used to exist among regular people, would pretty much have free thought, huh?
Yeah.
Not like animalistic, yeah. So perhaps they worship this this death. Well, yeah, I know he's a death god. Perhaps they worship this shadow god. This is under
Yeah,
ethics.
we can't let this place remain a temple to that god.
I agree.
As you're
Do
looking
you think
around
we'll,
and you see like the damage and stuff, like I said, it looks like this place is somebody's attempted to destroy this place before. The damage isn't just weathered from time or something like that. This looks like, yeah, maybe at one time a cult had set up shop here and were run out long ago.
You know, on second thought, I don't think we should be burning down temples to evil gods. I don't think we can quite handle that kind of vengeance.
I can turn it into a temple for another god.
While you guys are having this conversation, I need to step away for just a second.
Okay.
Okay, so how do you turn it into a different god's temple?
Okay, so I can, on paper, I prepared ceremony. And I was talking to Cranky about what I wanted to do. What I want to do is spend this hour creating a vial of holy water, and then just start walking around and trying to because I can't. My magic is religious. I'm trying to religiously bless this place to turn it against the nature of what it is, because there's a couple of things I can do, but they mostly concern me touching like a person. I was
I
trying to
hear
get
what you're
Frankie.
saying, and I think it's cool, and I don't want to kill what you're trying to do. But Vraak gets the sense that if she were to attempt to consecrate this ground, that it's probably a little out of her league at this point.
All right, then I'll do my best to just gather what information we can, so that we can report back, I guess. And I'll just use my area of expertise. If this place looks like a place where they were dictating sermons, can I go up to the, I guess, pulpit area and have a poke around there, see what they were trying to get into?
Yeah, make a investigation roll.
This one, 13.
13. You don't see a whole lot left here as far as trinkets or marks. There's some scrawling carved into the stone, some runes. Again, you see the name Zithraxis. But for the most part, there's nothing here for you to discern from this room.
Okay. I'll go back to everybody else and tell them I didn't find anything. I will
Can
also
we go
tell
to
them.
the?
Go ahead.
So no, go ahead, Cook.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, my plan. I will relate to them that my plan to bless this place might be above my pay grade.
And if you go through the door to the north, that'll be map 6. And in
Yep,
here,
that's where I was going to go.
in here, there is lots of spider webs. There are some spider sacks, and all over the floor You see skulls and rib cages and just the bones of humanoids. And on the far end of the room, underneath that fountain that is now dry, you see a pile of just, there's gold, there's silver, there's potions, there's food, there's kegs of ale. There's just all kinds of things here. More things than you think that you could even carry. But this seems to be the room where they were keeping their treasure hoard. And it also appears to be the room by which the goblins you did not catch had escaped through the windows in the back. There is a throne on the left side of the room and a statue that's partially worn from time in the southeastern corner of this room.
Well, I'm immediately going to look up and see if there's anything crawling around the roof. Because this looks like a spider trap.
And that's a smart thing to do. You look up and you do see spiders, but they are stuck to the ceiling with spears.
Oh. Well, you don't see that every day.
Giant spiders with long, spindly legs, Alyssa.
Yeah, that's why the player is not keeping the character in there. Like, I'm sure the character would be like, cha la la, and go in there, but I'm like, nah, it's cool. We'll wait.
But they are dead.
Yeah,
and they look like they've been dead for weeks.
It's really about the journey and not the destination.
I think
some
my
of us gotta
character
pay
would
time.
honestly go in it. Yeah, I think my character would see watch Thrandil look up, see that the spiders were taken care of, and go in towards the board.
Can I check out the statue?
Yeah.
Just want to take a look at it and see what. There seems to be something like darkly religious in each room, and this seems to be the thing in this room. It's darkly religious.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a investigation check.
That'll be a 5.
Nothing. That sick feeling in your stomach is heavy, and you just can't focus on this statue. But I mean, looking at it, it looks like the typical depiction of Zithraxis, a hooded figure whose face is hidden in darkness.
Thrandil has an arrow drawn. He's on edge, by the way, just carefully walking around, very scared.
Yeah. Yep.
So what'd you find, Ildain?
Do you want me to roll perception or investigation or?
Yeah, if Ildain's gonna go in, make an investigation roll.
Yeah, stupid ass dwarf. Oh God. What are we rolling?
Investigation.
Damn. Okay, that's a 6.
Yeah, Ildain, she's keeping a brave face, but she's side-eyeing these egg sacks as she moves around the room with her long sword in her hand. But you guys are pretty sure those spiders are dead. And they look like they've been dead.
Timber heads straight back to the hoard of just treasure, and he's specifically looking for this moon-shaped mirror.
Yeah, you can make an investigation check.
Okay. 17.
17. So you don't find the mirror, but you're looking at, there's a box that's laying open, and it looks like it was forced open. And as you're digging through the gold near the box, you see that there's a dead goblin right beside it. But the box was forced open, and the hole on the box, you take out that key, and it fits. But the box has been forced open and it's empty.
It's
You're pretty
for the
sure
first
that
time. Go ahead.
it once held the mirror.
For the first time, probably in a while, Timber shows some actual emotion and slams the top shut on this chest and just starts a string of expletives that would make a goblin blush.
I want to approach Timber.
Yeah.
Me and you are taking first watch tonight.
Not just
Fine.
that, Vraak, but you guys, this fairy has done his best to keep his composure in front of you guys and has seemed like nothing more than a clean-cut brainiac, but suddenly he has turned into a sailor, and he is visibly angry in front of you guys. And you haven't really seen this kind of, and he slams the lid on this box.
Look,
Can Winter
let's check this
investigate?
out. Go ahead.
Can Winter investigate the box too? Because, like, she trusts that Timber won't stab her in the back, but Timber is being awfully cagey about his knowledge about mirrors and stuff. So seeing him so visibly emotional over a box would kind of pique her curiosity.
Yeah, you can roll an investigation check on the box that he's holding, if he allows you to investigate it.
That is a 15 investigation.
Yeah, it's not ornate, but it is really well crafted, and it's like a dark oak, and the keyhole on it is not shaped like a normal key. It looks like it was made for a very special, very specific key, and you saw Timber try that key in that box. So you kind of glean that he's surrounded by gold and jewelry and precious stones, and this little wooden box that he stuck this key in is empty and is the source of his anger.
Okay. So I think Winter at this point is not under the impression, is kind of, she knows Timber isn't telling them everything because he talks about how he learns his magic through this learning, but he doesn't give any other details. He has this weird sigil, and whenever it does weird things, he just refuses to comment on it. So I think Winter is trying to put some pieces together, trying to figure out what exactly Timber is hiding. Probably not coming up with the clearest picture or even the correct picture, but she is probably connecting some dots in some ways.
Okay. So, you guys have this hoard. Are you going to gather the hoard? Put as much as you can into your bag of holding? What's the plan? Or do you want to leave it in this cursed place?
I don't think
I
we
mean,
should be
while we're
leaving
here.
offerings in a temple.
Yeah.
You said you don't think you should be leaving them?
No, we got to clear this place out. I guess we can start waging through it and figure out what all's in there.
Yeah, it's just going to be a treasure hoard. I'm going to have to roll it up on a table
Okay.
later. And I'll post that for you guys. But you guys got your first hoard. This is going to be a pretty good haul. You guys are going to make a lot of money from this.
I feel like we should take some of this back to town, guys.
Yeah, or you could give it back in hopes that it makes it to the right people. But these attacks have been happening for a couple months. Some of those caravans have probably moved on, if they even survived the attacks that took them.
I call. I asked Thrandil if he can come up for a second.
Yeah. What's on your mind?
Can you? I know you're much better at tracking than I am. Can you look at this box and get a sense for if the goblins that escaped out the back? Is it possible that they just stole this and they are running through the woods with it right now?
How big is this object you're looking for?
It's I don't know, about a foot across. You know,
Is it heavy?
I've never felt it myself. I wouldn't think it'd be overly heavy.
Yeah. I'm gonna look down at the see if I can't see any scuffs on the floor. See if there was a fight or something before, and see which window they perhaps crawled out of. And then I'm gonna check around the window frame for any scuffs or marks or any residual remains from anything that might have been like brass or copper.
Yeah, give me a investigation check with advantage.
Cool. Uh, 18.
Yeah, you're looking at the pile of gold, and it definitely shows signs on those right two windows that one or more creatures has recently scurried up this pile and went out that window. And looking at the box, it looks like a trap had gone off inside of it, and that killed the goblin that's laying there amongst the stuff. And maybe the other ones made off with that mirror.
Got you. I'm gonna point that out to Timber. If you look here, it looks like this goblin had been killed by whatever device was in the chest. I'd say they set off a trap. And look over here. And I'm gonna crawl through the window if it's big enough.
Yeah, it's definitely big enough.
As I land on the ground, I kind of want to judge my knowledge of goblins as a favorite enemy and their weight, and see how much deeper their footprints are, to see how much weight they may have been carrying off.
It looks like they got out of there in a hurry, and they probably only made it off with maybe a pocket full of coins each if they thought of it.
So they weren't carrying anything like heavy or large.
Nothing super heavy, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna relay that back to Timber as well. Whatever they left with, it was only handfuls of things. It couldn't have been anything large. I'm not sure what you're looking for, but I'm not sure they have it.
If you guys remember back, you were told that the temple was near the goblin camp, not that the temple was the goblin camp.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
so I turned to.
Yeah.
I said, "Thank you." I turned to Vraak and I was like, "I agree that I think we have earned this treasure, and we should take it. However, as far as taking it back to town, I cannot go there yet. I need to continue on into the camp to retrieve something else."
Well, I don't know what it means to you, but I'd happily join you on this adventure if you'd have me.
After how well my last plan went, I think it would be a good idea to have as many people along as possible.
I'm gonna go with, but only because I would, when we set up camp, we got stuff to talk about. I gotta figure
Yeah,
some stuff out about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And with that, are you guys going to, 1, release the fairy, 2, investigate that final room?
Yes.
Before you leave?
Yeah, I think yes to both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you guys make your way back to the main ritual room and then go through the door north, this looks like it was just a dining area. the floor is falling apart. There is a ladder that leads down, but the floor is torn apart there, and you guys look down and it looks like it's just an old forgotten pantry. This looks like where the followers of Zithraxis just took meals. That would be map 5 there.
Can I make out anything with my dark vision?
Yeah, you just make the remnants of old, decrepit food bags with long spoiled and petrified food.
Down below.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, say we gather up the gold, let the fairy out of its cage, and plan our next raid.
Yeah, we
I
need to
agree.
set up shop and get the hell out of this place.
Yeah, I take it you guys aren't going to set up camp in the temple to the Shadow Lord. So I'll say that you guys follow the tracks for a little ways before you set up camp and leave some distance between here. And I feel bad that we got the mirror part out of the way without Nick here, but unfortunately he fell asleep. So that is where we're going to end tonight's session. And we're going to move on to Stars and Wishes. We're just going to go in order as you guys are on my screen here. So Cook, go ahead and go first.
Stars to everybody, because it felt like everybody got to play a role in combat and in the RP. I feel like we're moving forward. I usually build my characters to like openly discuss information and stuff, so it feels nice to not have done that this session. I wanna talk secretly about some stuff to some people. Um, Especially Thrandil, knowing how they feel about orcs. I wanna role play our I guess moving on to wishes, I should say. I wanna role play our interactions a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want to know how you feel about me so that I can figure out how the hell I feel about you.
That's a good point.
But no, everybody did a good job, I think. That's it for me.
All right, Alyssa.
For stars, I just great role playing. The battle was kind of as expected. Like as I was sitting here thinking of the plan, I was like, "This is a dumb plan. We just set 2 of our squishies inside." I was like, with no protection. I was like, "Well, we'll cross our fingers." um, so wishes would be to come up with better plans next time, so we don't send squishies in. But no, I enjoyed myself. This was fun.
Awesome. Eric.
Yeah, no criticisms. It was fun. We all got to do some fun stuff. There was lots of RP. There was loot. Everyone's getting more comfortable and better and knowing the ins and outs of what they can do and who they are, and it's all going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wishes. Let's have some more games. Play some more.
Absolutely. Max.
Yeah, just echoing what everybody else said. Awesome role play the whole time. Really appreciate everybody going along with my idea, which I honestly thought was a good one. And then it turned out there were orcs and it was not. So yeah, I've died for the second time now in this campaign. Although the first time was actually in a dream state, so I'm not sure if it counts. But yeah, just trying to figure out the wizards. But definitely different than what I've played in the past. Still a lot of fun. Love all the different things I can do. But yeah, I guess my one wish is that I can figure out how to play a little bit more survivable wizard here.
Yeah, Caden.
Same. The role playing was awesome, especially between Timber and the other Fae. That was really fun for me to listen to. My one wish is that I get through a single battle at this point without losing more than 3/4 of my health. That would be nice. Just one round where I make it a little bit longer. But other than that, this was
getting
amazing.
in rage. You're a bard.
I was invisible for half the battle this time. I
That is
did better.
That is true. Stars.
Did still make the choice to go in there, though.
Yeah.
Stars for me. Watching you guys interact and roleplay tonight was an absolute gem. That was probably the best roleplay session that we've had. We do have kind of a big table here, so it's hard for me to try and touch on all of you without making it boring for the other guys. So I hope that I'm not leaving some of you guys out, but we are at a point where like some people's side stories are being touched more than others, and it'll be vice versa when we come to later parts of the story. But yeah, you guys did excellent. The fairy, I knew you guys were going to end up killing all the bad guys, so the fairy was my way that I was going to be able to exposition dump on you guys. But fairies are assholes, and you threatened to just leave it in the cage, so it wasn't going to be nice about it. Wishes, I wish I felt better. I don't know if I seemed kind of off tonight, but like I said, I was telling Cook, like it's about 7:30, I just got tired out of nowhere, and I just kind of felt a little off my game tonight, but I hope it didn't affect the game too much for you guys.
Yeah, no.
Nope.
Okay. That was fun. You guys made a shit ton of money. But yeah, you guys just remember that the goblin camp was near the temple. It wasn't there. You guys have a feeling that there's a whole lot more goblins than what you've seen. And 3 of them just escaped to give warning you're coming.
So the plan is I can disguise myself as a goblin and then head in.
You know, the 3 that were in there
No.
didn't see Sexy Dexy, so they don't know what he looks like. That was hard to keep my composure, man. The shaman staring down Sexy Dexy.
What you didn't see was him off camera, like staring at our pit bull's face because his name is Dexter and we call him Sexy Dexy. And so he's like coming up with a name and he just looks at the dog. I'm like, don't do it. Sexy. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, that was good. That was great. I'm gonna stop the recording, but I'm gonna stick around for a few minutes because I drank